The very first time that I went for Tahajjud was back in 2023, and I've always wanted to go and join the Salah Tahajjud in Ramadan. Just that my family would not allow me to go out at night alone, and it was a funny story turned into two. I came out for the first time. I sneaked out around 12 a.m. I saw a big white dog from afar. I noticed the dog rushing into me, and I knew I actually saw the speed of the dog, and I knew if I don't act quick, it, it would get to me. So I ran back into the house and locked the door. And in 2023, that was the first time I went for Tahajjud. I came out, and I was like, anxiously, I came out of the room. I went to the Tahajjud. It was not very far from our house, basically. There's one person that was reciting. It was very, very beautiful. I remember in the solar, I was like, there was a wide smile on my face. All the recitation was getting, it was so mesmerizing. That was the first time a recitation actually touched me. And from that point, I kind of started to build a love for Tahajjud. But it was not actually gradually. So it was, I started to love the Tahajjud a little bit, and then I stopped. And then after I started to love, it was like kind of a step by step. And then in around the end of 2023, I joined the madrasa and I started to memorize Qur'an. I started to do more of tahajjud a little bit here and there. And then in 2022, I started to do my own tahajjud at home. There was this kind of feeling that I was having that you don't get this feeling normally. I started to do tahajjud. I remember my mom, that I don't know, before the state I live in, it was very, very hot that time. I think it was in May. And so we were all allowed to just come out and stay outside because of the heat inside. So I would go and do ablution. I would wake up by 3 a.m. I would wake up and do my ablution and start praying Salah. My mom was seeing me. I was doing my tahajjud. I was happy. It was feeling me. But some days, like for example, my mom would not get enough sleep because I was getting too loud. And there was a single day she just said, Irfan, lower your voice. We are trying to sleep. She did not say it with any bad intention. She just said it like I was listening to loud because I was forgetting that people that were around me, and I just raised my voice because I love the tahajjud. Genuinely, I love the tahajjud. And ever from that day, I remember I spent 30 days. I did not even pray tahajjud for once. I woke up every single day for those 30 days, and intentionally I would say to myself, don't pray this tahajjud. Why? Because I am disturbing people, so I was like this liberty belief, don't pray tahajjud and just stop. And up until 2025, I started like serious tahajjud because that was the first time I actually led tahajjud in a masjid. And we did the last 10 days of tahajjud, and then I wanted to like continue the journey because many scholars are saying that so many sahabas they continue the habit of tahajjud. So I wanted to continue the journey. And in our masjid, we were doing 2 hours of tahajjud from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So I said, okay, I'm going to continue. The next day it was good. So I was really happy about that, and I prayed tahajjud, very fine. Next day, and the thing started to accumulate, like it started to get a little bit tougher and tougher. I'm doing every single day for 2 hours. Like some days I'll feel completely not motivated for the tahajjud, but some days I'm like hyped. I'm really loving this tahajjud. Some days actually I'm not feeling it, but when I started doing tahajjud, like around halfway, I started to feel happy about it. I was able to only sustain it for about 11 days. And the golden rule in like habit formation says that for you habits to be ingrained in you, you have to do it for 21 days. It was well until 21. The next day, I missed my tahajjud. And for a while, I thought, like, if you miss your tahajjud for once, that means you have to start all over, start day one again. And I remember I was just getting pissed off. I was just constantly scolding myself. I was criticizing myself. Okay, why did I miss this tahajjud? Why did I do this? Why? I'm so a stupid person. I'm this, I'm that. I'm just scolding myself so many times because I thought people, like for example, like so many scholars were saying that the people in the past, they were able to scold themselves and they would get angry at themselves, and then they would pretend to like unrealistic periods of time. And I thought, okay, that's the right way to do that. Scold myself so many times. And don't take my words lightly. From that day, I was not able to pray a single tahajjud for a while. And with there some exceptions, I was able to do the tahajjud for 2 days and then I would stop. But I was not able to do more than 2 days in a row for the next 8 months. Think about what I said. I was not able to discipline myself to do tahajjud for more than 2 days in a row for the last 8 months. Because of what? I was just criticizing myself. That day I actually realized, okay, when you do criticize yourself, when you scold yourself so many times, your brain can actually give up. And this is not like a science thing. This is like my personal experience from this. And from that point, not just tahajjud, even the Fajr Salah. I wanted to imagine I was leading Salah in our masjid. I was leading tahajjud. You can imagine that same Imam missing Fajr, all the pressure, all the people, how people will look at you. And bear in mind, our house is this is our house and this is our masjid. So our house is even connected to our masjid. In fact, I just have to exit a gate and enter the door. I had no excuse. I was coming up with so many excuses. Like I slept for in the school or like at the end of the day for 8 months, man. So there's just way too much excuses you can bring. Fajr, daily Fajr, imagine daily Fajr. How many days in 8 months? Over 200 days in a row, man. There's just way too much excuse. I tried all the excuses to the point that I just gave up. Okay, why did you do the Fajr? I would say, okay, I missed it. The problem is, it's not saying you missed it, is that I will miss it today, tomorrow, the next day. I can like say, okay, I missed that today. And that's okay because people do make mistakes. But imagine missing 200 days in a row. Some people will actually criticize me. Some people criticize me, and I was thinking like, I know for sure, I know myself. I will not even hear the alarm. And for the next 8 months, my mom was just looking at me. She tried all she could, she was not able to do so. She was able to find one method where she forced me to do that, to wake up before the. My mom knows how much I hate when I'm sleepy to wake me up. And so she would open the door. I'll be sleeping in my bed. The moment sometimes I'll hit the door, sometimes I'll knock. She would start shouting at me like, wake up. At first I was thinking like, oh my, I hate this thing. It's just, even after the first your brain will be, you have like these headaches and everything. But she would just be scolding at me. Sometimes she would even, the moment I hear the word, bring me this cold water, I'm like, oh my God. I'll be asleep actually. I will not hear 90% of the things you're saying. But that word, cold water, oh my God. You see me automatically, I'm like up. You see my eye like red and like go Fajr, it's like Fajr, and she forced me to do that. I'll be getting some days I'll be getting pissed off like, oh my God, like some days I'll just go out, some days I'll be I just I must go out. Like she would spend all her time on me, even if she asked to skip Fajr, she would make sure I go to the masjid. And doing that, I started to, okay, instead of doing complete Fajr, right around the time that they're ending the Fajr, that's when I'll come out to the masjid. And that's the starting point. And then before you know, I started to wake up a little bit earlier and everything. And when she realized that I was able to wake up by myself, she just left me. It's just that when I passed that time, she would come and cross check whether I'm up or not. So, and then that tahajjud I was talking about took me a while before I was able to figure out the reasons for that. And the lesson I wanted to learn actually from the story is that okay. It's like 4:30. Okay, let's just wait for that's got to be the person done. صلى وسلم على التامة وصل القائمات محمد وصل الفضيلة وبعث مقام محمود الذي وتاه وصل الشيخ صلى الله عليه وسلم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So Yeah, what are the lessons from the story? Lesson number one, never criticize yourself. We are human beings, we are bound to make mistakes. Like, if I can human being without mistakes, it's not human to begin with. Do not criticize yourself. But trust me, I failed for 8 months because I criticized myself. The second lesson is that sleep. I didn't mention in the story about sleep. My sleep was very, very bad. Like, very bad. It was not different actually. There were days in the past, like my sleep was the same when I was parental and when I was not parental in the past actually. But generally, it was not very good. Okay, I would sleep, look at my phone around like 10, 11, 10, 30, 11, and then I would sleep. I was getting, like, I was sleep deprived actually. I said I would wake up around 3 a.m. And so, like, my sleep, and I made it, there's a full guide I made on Tahajjud in my channel. You don't go and watch that. It's a full 3 hours video, and in the video I mentioned that the biggest reason you're not praying Tahajjud is not because you're not disciplined. The reason you're not praying Tahajjud is because you had poor sleep. And I went into so many details, you can watch the video. And the third thing is that I was constantly changing my routine. I didn't mention, but for 11 days, I would, from that, I would pray Tahajjud for like maybe like 1 to 3 a.m. Sometimes I would pray 3 to 5, sometimes 2 to 4. I was just changing it to just fit. For example, I would watch a video of people saying that the Prophet was doing Tahajjud like 1 to 3, and then I would change it, and then I would hear someone saying 3 a.m. The dua will be answered, and I'll change it. And I changed it. I was just constantly changing these things. I was just constantly changing it to fit that thing. So that's why I really want people like watching content. It has an effect on me. I don't know whether I'm the only person or or like this, but changing it constantly changes. It has an impact. Okay, so yeah, I think these are three reasons I was able to think of. One is that never consistent yourself. Two is that good sleep, and the third is that stop changing your routine constantly. Stick to one thing, because when you keep changing it, there's this internal clock we have, they call it secondary rhythm. And when you keep constantly changing it every single time, changing it, tweaking it, how do you want your brain to understand, okay, this is time for you to wake up for Saturday? The brain is not a human being, okay? You human being might think, okay, I know this is important, I'm supposed to wake up, but how do you want your brain and all the complex neurons and everything to understand, okay, this is the time that's important for you? If you keep changing it yourself, imagine if, like, for example, is a celebrity and he keeps changing his time. He waiting for like celebrities to come from like 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. I would say, but he keeps changing it. Okay, no, I will come 5. I will no, I will come 3. No, I will come 1. No, like, you will stop even wanting to see the celebrity or whatever. So that's the same thing. Like, stop changing your routine. Like, I don't know if I'm the only person, but I used to have like, you cannot see, but there's this thing right behind this thing. There's where I used to put like points in my wall. Like, I would put a timetable and I'll break it. I would put a timetable, break it. I'll put it, break it. Because every single time I miss my target, for example, or I woke up later, so I adjust the timetable, and it's just a mess. So stop constantly changing this. You can iterate, okay? But first stick to something. And some of the times, for example, you might feel like you need to change it because, yeah, for example, it's not sustaining or it's getting hard for you. Sometimes, like, you have to go into a dip before you rise. And like, honestly, I'll go a step further and say it's not just sometimes, it's most of the time you have to go into a dip before you rise. Okay? So sometimes you might feel this like it's hard for you. It's just for the beginning part. For example, the difficulty is not gonna be like this. The brain is very, very good at just manipulating ourselves, at just tricking ourselves into thinking like, oh no, because it's hard now, it's hard every single time. No. Like, trust me, like I said, like those 2 hours, some days it was very, very tough. Some days I would start tired and I'll go back to sleep. I would be so tired, I'll just leave it tired and I'll go back to sleep, and I'll hate myself for that. And from that point, I started to increase a little bit, starting with 3 hours. Sorry, starting with 3 rakats of Tahajjud. I started to level up again, like this. Up to this day, for the last 112, 120 days. I think I missed the Tahajjud probably like 15 times. Maybe, yeah, 15 times or maybe 20 times. I don't really think I missed in 15 times in like a month, in 4 months. Some months I would go full without missing Tahajjud. Right now it's like 4:50 a.m. I've already done my Tahajjud and I'm recording this video. I think it's time for me to end the video. Usually I end with a humble quotes. Too much attention makes a donkey, and he's a lion. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.